All right, we are back, and it's still Crossfire with Dakbo and Ichoma. It's actually Feedback Friday, and we've been talking about national security as top priority. Is the government of the day actually taking national security serious? I remember most times when our new officers have been elected into the office and they are taking their oath. One of it is that I will provide security for lives and property. And this is like a oath that they have taken. But do you feel secured in your environment? We have two, exactly. We have two gentlemen in the studio with us. It's a background check consultant, Frank Oyorhigho, and we have Prince Henry Osauagwu, a security expert in crime prevention and public safety. So over to you,
Yes.
Frank.
Now, for community policing to be effective as it ought to be, we've always said government should involve with background check.
Okay.
Mandate house owners to conduct background check on every tenant.
Is it
Okay.
after? I was
No.
asking. Is it after, before you gave them your house?
Before you give the house out.
How soon can you? I mean, how soon can you do a background check on an individual?
Do you know they try to do it? The landlords, they try to do it. They give you a form and say, go and give your guarantor.
Yes.
And you go to your house, you sit down, you pick one passport photograph on the floor and staple it to it and fill the form yourself and return to the landlord. And he says, oh, yes, okay, thank you. So,
but someone who lives in Badagry, for example,
Yes.
or someone who lives at Shomolu or one far part of Lagos State, how many landlords actually do this?
No, that's what we are saying that. That's what we are saying that
Going forward, background check should be a part of.
Yes, government. Now, Lagos State government said landlords collect 1 year rent, no more 2 years.
But do you know what? To shock you, many landlords or many landowners or property owners have still defiled that order.
Yes, because the government just said there's
no enforcement.
How can, if the government goes ahead to enforce background check, how many people will comply?
If they go to pronounce it, because once they enforce, people will comply. When they enforce it, can you drive a car around this Lagos without insurance and you'll be comfortable?
Or your driver's license?
Well, some people do it.
No, that's something they're not comfortable. If
They're taking a risk now because eventually when they are dropped,
their mind will skip.
Yes.
Very true.
Because the government is deeply involved. So if the government is deeply involved in background check issues, every landlord conduct background check before you give your house to any tenant. So if the community policeman who has an office, all the landlords come to the dossiers of all their tenants and say, these are my tenants.
And the next house, these are my tenants, and like that.
Okay,
So he has information about where each person works.
Okay, now Mr. Dapo asked you a question, and I don't want us to lose focus on that question. And that question is, how about the security agent, the person who is policing you, the person who is making sure you're safe? How much background check has been conducted on that individual?
Because we have seen a lot of people who are supposed to be protecting us, who are the ones killing us.
Periodically, to make sure that they have not
police
fallen by the
brutality
wayside.
has not stopped in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Now, two things. The police itself need to conduct background check before they recruit. That's why we are telling them that this 10,000 you are recruiting, I checked how much they want to spend, how they want to disburse the money. Background check is not part of it.
So you can imagine, and something already is happening. You know, some people are already detected. Out of the 10,000 people shortlisted,
exactly. Now
they detected they have fake certificates.
Those ones detected was by chance. It's not deliberate. It was better, but background check is deliberate. So subject these people, their certificates, their character. There are people who are criminals who feel that if I enter the police, it will help. It will
protect me to continue.
Yes,
that's true.
So conduct background check. Know these people. Know their character. Know their integrity. Know where they have worked before. Know even their school. Were they court members in school? Now that they have left school, who are they? What are they? There are courts. There are courts all over the place. Go to Mushi, you say court clash and all that. These people
all
can.
Over the country.
Yes, these people can go to River State. These people can, enter the police. They can apply to join the police.
Okay. So how do we start, Frank and Prince? Help us. How do we start to? How do you? I mean, who should be? In terms of priority.
Yes.
Are we talking to government first? Are we talking to federal government first? Are we talking to state government first? Are we addressing community policing first, or we want to talk to individuals first? How do we really go about, having a secured, a secured Nigeria? Because if my environment is secured, yours is secured, everybody is secured, we have a secured Nigeria, as it were. But before you take your responses, let's take this call. Hello, good morning, David.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Dapo.
David, how are you?
And the gentleman and Mrs. Shoma.
Good morning.
Good morning. In a society whereby stakeholders and government cannot be able to give affordable houses to its citizens, whereby the individual, they have to build their road, they have to borrow, they have to put their own electricity light and everything. And the same government will still come back and ask for tenant rights and other things. How could they decide for the individual's owner? In this is the only country whereby you see an individual build thousands and millions of houses. It doesn't happen like that in advanced country. Stakeholder government build house for people and they'll be able to control it. We should stop saying that government. Nigeria are their own government. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you, David. You see, because if we have housing units that the government actually provided, and these housing units are actually given to citizens, let's say state or at the federal level, obviously you have taken a very big chunk, because you will not, those houses are allocated to people you probably would have done a proper background check on. You know who they are, you know where they work, you know everything about them. And so they are traceable, they are trackable. If you notice anything going on in your environment and all of that from each of these housing units that government has provided, you definitely, and I'm beginning to feel that federal government's responsibility is so much that states can even help in getting a proper database for people. We have local government, so we can do it locally. If you live in Shomolu, between this street and that street, go to this place. And I think during Fashola's time, we tried to do something like that to get, an ID card.
Unfortunately, that was politicized anyway.
Yeah, eventually, and all of that. Now, my question is this, gentlemen. How do we start addressing, security issues in Nigeria? It's becoming really very terrible. In traffic, even in Lagos, people still get robbed. Yeah. Even though we are saying Lagos State is trying when it comes to, but once you become vulnerable, these guys, they still come at you. Prince?
Yes, like just as you rightly pointed out, we were talking about the inherent benefits in community policing, and now we are looking now at background check, which is, we call it integration of security infrastructure. But at the same time now, what the first thing is still on the police. Any criminal, whether you are an accused or you are, I'm not a lawyer, whether you are an accused or you are the report, any person that comes there, please get his biometric. Get a full data of that.
Is that, can we talk about what is realistic?
No.
When you are saying, are we saying we are integrating, are you saying that we are going to integrate biometric machine into police stations and all of that? They will not make it work.
This is a government of change, and let us see how
which government of change?
No.
Do you know how long it has taken us? Do you know how long it has taken us to even get a database for citizens? Now, for everybody who is going to the police station now, you want to go and take 10 things.
We are talking about criminal tracking surveillance system here.
Where are we going to get
it? Listen.
Kenny Martins was given money to buy equipment for the Nigerian police. It was eating.
I would not subscribe to that for now. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that we are looking at security solutions. Okay. And I'm trying to also give you my own in-depth advice.
That's what I'm saying, Prince. Give us what can work now.
It can work.
Now.
It can work.
It can work now. Biometric machines in police stations.
No, listen.
Okay.
If you can do it in the bank.
Okay.
The
bank is structured now.
It's structured.
Nigerian
police is structured too.
It's structured.
They are structured.
Okay.
Yes. You can't tell me that the Nigerian police is not structured. What we are looking at here is that, remember one time the Senate wants to pass a bill on criminal tracking system. Why do they want to pass that bill?
They want to pass. They want to pass.
It has scaled.
And it has not been...
No. It is...
How many scales?
I don't know.
First or second?
But what I'm saying is that those are part of the everything
attempts that to try to...
So we are still looking... We are working towards a stable security in our country. You understand? So everything takes time. Okay, So what we are trying to say here, the background check, relatively okay.
We're not even
But we have
getting-
to. It has
Yes.
to be. They have the government has, particularly the Senate. They have to approve it, because nobody can go now and start saying you want to do background check of somebody.
Okay.
You understand?
It will be so
Yes,
difficult.
but
So
individuals-
we need to pass it into law. We need a
Now,
legislation.
please, let me, before we lose this, now we can't take what Prince is saying about the police. I don't want us to take it in isolation. For us to get to that level, there are some back work that needs to be done,
Okay.
which is the function of the government. Government is is all powerful. If the government says today that nobody should go out, nobody will go out.
That's it.
Okay, so we will still take it back to the government. Now, for us not to waste time, rather than waiting for the legislators to pass and all that,
a bill.
already we
That
have...
means it will be expensive
Yes.
if I have
Yes.
to come and pay for
Then,
background
but
check.
already...
If it is not institutionalized by the
already,
government.
the simple way to go
Yes.
is this. Already, background check is accepted. Okay? It is investigation that is not accepted unless there's a crime.
Unless there's
There's
a
a
crime.
crime.
Okay, so
I
you
can't
cannot investigate someone
you. Yes.
except the person is
But
under the watch.
I can conduct a background check on you. There are two different things.
Exactly.
And before I conduct a background check on you, like we said, the tenant, the government should say, landlord, conduct background check. Now, there is what you call the consent. So if you want to rent my house and I tell you, look, I'm going to conduct a background check on you. If you say no, that means you have something to hide. I won't even give you. So you can't even come to the
So
environment.
move. Exactly.
And if you say yes, I give you a consent form, as a field consent form that you have permitted me
To go and do
to
a
go and
background
background
check.
check on you. So with the form, I take the form to a background check consultant and say, look, can you conduct background check on this person?
And then I pay.
Because I will pay because he has given me his consent to
Who
do so.
pays? The landlord?
So of course, the landlord, how he gets his money is not my business. So what
So you have to put it, you will not have
Yes,
to put that again
exactly.
now into house rent.
So what I will now do, based on the consent I've gotten,
Yeah.
is to give that tenant my own background check form to drag out information from him, and I say, okay, can you fill this form for me? So he fills the form. So whatever he tells me in that form is what I'm going to verify.
Exactly.
So why did you leave, or why are you living where you are staying before?
Why are you living
He said-
Ijegu for Ikorodu?
He said, now he says, I got married and I want a bigger apartment. And I go to where he said before, and I said, do you know this man? I said, yes, this man Bolobonio.
Yeah, it's a three
This guy, in fact, he was part of the people that stole somewhere, blah, blah, blah. If I were looking for him. So that differentiates, I mean, that's the difference from what he told me in the form.
Exactly.
So I get to the landlord and I said, look, this man that told you that he's living because he got married in a bigger apartment for his family is actually a criminal.
A wanted one at that.
A wanted one at that.
Now, talk about background check.
So the landlord now knows that this man cannot.
Then our women need to do background checks on men they want to marry.
Exactly.
Of course. That's why you also have to
Yes.
the family plays,
Yeah.
knowing the other family
They need
and
to.
visiting.
They need to go and pay for a background check
But
before
then
they
those
can.
days-
Before,
those days-
before you say I do.
Our parents do background check.
Back in the days.
Yes,
Back
on
in
behalf
the
of our
days.
children. Yes, on behalf of their children.
That's true. That's true.
That
Some
still
people-
happens.
yeah,
That still
back in the
happens.
days.
That still happens.
They'll go and check the family he is from.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They'll go and
History
check
of the
a lot of the
family.
history of the family.
Exactly.
What,
So, but many of these things have been eroded by technology. You see somebody on the Facebook, you see somebody on TV,
And then you jump and
he's a nice person. He's
yeah.
a musician, he sings well, he's a nice person, and then you go into marriage, and then tomorrow you discover that he has anger problem, he beats you and kills you.
all right, we've been talking about national matters as top priority, and we have this gentleman in the. But we are not really. You see, we didn't concentrate on Boko Haram and all of those things. There are more to that. Before they get to that level, there are so many things that needs to be done, and that's why we're taking it from this level. We'll go on a break now. When we come back, we'll be approaching the last lap of the show. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back. Crossfire with Ishoma is still on. We have Frank Oyorhigho in the studio with us, and we have Prince Henry Osauagwu. They are security experts, and their specialties we already read out to you. Prince Henry is into crime prevention and public safety, while Frank is an expert and a background check consultant when it comes to security matters. Now, let us, in rounding up this show, let's step it up a little bit. Let's talk about what is happening in the Niger Delta. Let's talk about what is Boko Haram. Let's talk about, a lot of, especially the Niger Delta is really very hot today, Prince. Yeah. We're talking about the Bakassi boys. We're talking about MEND. We're talking about the Biafra agitators. We're talking about the Niger Delta Avengers. I mean, how possible is it that people are living in, I don't know how people are living in the Niger Delta right now, Prince?
In fact, it's quite sad when we look at some group of people destroying our economy, our collective economy.
Destroying the environment also.
Destroying the environment, which even the government is putting in place machineries of clearing up Ogoni land. At least it has not happened before. That's the first time. But if we want to look at the present security threat, I've been following the stories both on social media and the rest. If you look at the caption of their operation, they said Operation Red Economy. And if you look at the impact of what they have done presently, they have reduced the oil output by almost 50%. And if you go by the statistics of NDPC, which is a subsidiary of NNPC, they said just within that, this group is not up to 6 months. Yeah. This group we are looking at now.
No, in terms of carrying out attacks,
yes,
they may have been formed.
They might be formed before now, but we want to look at the gravity and the impact of what they have done in the last 6 months. If the records that NNPC is bringing, that is MPDC, which is a subsidiary of NNPC, that they have lost well over 60 billion within a span of 3 months. You cannot imagine what we are losing.
What we are losing. Let's take this call before you continue. Hello, David. Good morning.
Good morning, sir, again.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I want to talk about security. The gentleman in the black suit said that police are structures. If they are structures, all banks, all schools, and so many institutions in Nigeria have their own private security. And they are structured for who? They are structured for the people who they give a special patrol, lawyers, judges, and other. Maybe police are structured for those people. But there's no common man. I mean, no Nigerians who are in the middle class can go to police station without paying kobo to police. Whether you go and report or police arrest
you are reported.
You must pay something. So police are structured for who? Is it for the elite or for Nigerians? God bless you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, David. Now, we don't have time, gentlemen. We need to start putting our thoughts together. We have less than 3 minutes on the show. So let's just hit your point.
Just like the point I was trying to hit. You now look at their modus operandi, their method of operation. Compare it to the last agitators. It's quite different.
Okay, now quickly.
Totally different.
Let's hit this point. We don't have time. Let me hit this point. Okay. It's quite different. The formal agitators were kidnapping. They were sea pirates and the rest of them.
And they were collecting ransom and releasing people.
Now, but if you look at this other group now, the other agitators, that's the Niger Delta.
Destroying oil infrastructures.
They target the economy straight. So I think I would want a situation whereby the state government, the federal government, and other stakeholders will collaborate. Look out for a peaceful dialogue.
Okay.
That is, and this peaceful dialogue should be what we call back-channel communication.
Now they are faceless,
Back-channel
and now
communication.
they are faceless as it seems right now. But one thing we know for sure is that these people belong to a certain community. They live in a certain community.
Because
now,
what is the role
of people who live in these communities within the Niger Delta region in fishing out or in reporting some of these people? Because to avoid a hostile
all of them are in it
situation.
together.
So the issue
all of them are in it
what
together.
is the
What
role?
makes you feel that those people are not in support?
Exactly.
Let's just look at the
all of them are in
Barakatu
it
Kingdom
together.
invasion, for example. We saw how they cried that they were being harassed, for example. But
By
no one,
the agitators,
by the
Niger
military,
Delta
by the
militants.
military, when the military got information and
That
sworn
means
in
the
them.
community is in
So the
support of
issue
what the
is-
Niger Delta
Exactly.
Avengers are doing.
What we are saying here.
It means that communities are in support of their guys.
Let's get something clear.
That's vague.
I was just driving a point.
Anyway, unfortunately, we will not be able to go.
I'm just driving a point.
Yeah, just land on that point.
The point I'm making now, like you rightly pointed out, the military on their own part, they are very, very good. Our military, we have the military might, but it should be the last option.
It should be the last option.
I may want to follow that
Okay,
point.
so you believe in dialogue.
I believe in dialogue.
Where do you see background check in the future? When do you think this will become like an acceptance?
Where will it be?
Once the government backs it up,
Then it will fly.
It will fly.
All right, thank you so very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Frank Oyorhigho. Thank you, Prince Henry Osauagwu, and thank you, Ishoma. This is how far we can go today. We'll be back next week. Do join us, stay out of trouble, and be safe. God bless Nigeria.
Patriotic.
To enjoy more of these our ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.